What's up, guys, and welcome back to the infamous project. It is a freezing Canada cold day here in Texas. Unbelievable. And I've just started up the ship box for the first time in 2025. It's hard to believe 2 years have almost gone by of shipbox ownership, and well, here we are today. So coming into the new year means new ideas, new strategies, and in order to do so, sometimes we need to let things go. So I am at a crossroad with the old shipbox here, and it's time to talk about it and see what the future can hold for this car. So stick around. Idling away, 170 degrees, which is probably a little colder because this gauge reads higher than it should, but solid 80 pounds of oil pressure. You can't complain there. Interior a little dirty, but it plays the part because it is a ship box after all. Got the old sub and amp set up there. The seats still look good, amazingly enough. Shout out to Louis Savello for his magic of putting those covers on. But actually, let's turn off the lights. Don't need to kill the battery. There we go. All right, guys, so I'm gonna keep this pretty short because it's windy, it's cold. I've got like my huge Thinsulate gloves on, so my fingertips were going numb. But yeah, let's get into the old ship box here. This is a car that I never thought would still be in my life to this day. Pretty much bought it for the Cobra intake manifold that I saw on the marketplace listing, and you know, wanted to have some fun with the car, right? So if you guys remember, when we go in the Wayback Machine, car was sitting on the side of the shop there on a trailer. Dropped the fuel tank, put a new one in, blew out the fuel lines, did the things, and got the car running, and I believe I drove it off the trailer. Ooh. Look at this lovely boxed in, custom welded. I hear the pump. So from there, you know, a little bit of an exercise, had to drill one of the hideous bullet wheels off because the lug nut was completely stripped off on those stupid tuner style lug nuts that they had on the car, and put this set of 19-inch ROH drift R's on, cut the springs, and had a little bit of fun with the car. And it escalated real quick into, well, do I build a ship box, right? Does this car have potential? And well, a little bit of convincing and razzing on, I think, YouTube lives and on the podcasts. I got Gary from Castle Customs involved, and he ended up coming down, and well, we stripped the car completely down and put it back together in a way that was actually possible to drive this car from Texas all the way to Detroit, Michigan for the very first Motor City Fox Fest. Time has finally come. I hit the biggest pothole. Shipbox made it. So many times that happened. There we go, we're good to get home. And miraculously, not even entering the car won Best in Show, which was a controversy, or a controversial award to some, because there were some really nice cars there. And well, the shipbox definitely hurt some feelings that year, but I think it opened up the pathway, or the gateway, to people being able to build cars that don't have nice paint. You know, you can have a super cool car that looks awesome just by some wheels and stance. And, you know, you can do things like interior upgrades, or all these little things that can make it your own without breaking the bank. Now, with that said, the shipbox actually has a lot more money invested into it than one would think. And before I go into any details, I need to thank each and every person that helped make the shipbox build possible, because it was one of those things where, you know, Gary had to fly here twice. It was his time, it was my time. There was a lot of parts that were required to be able to put this car together. And if you guys remember, if I can get this ratchet strap off. Some of those fasteners are on the side there, but if we take a peek underneath the hood here, we can see the stickers that we put on literally the night before Motor City, representing everybody who contributed, donated some cash, whether it was $5, $10, $20 to the cause, or it was parts that were donated, which really made the transformation possible in this car, right? We got Carter's Customs, who donated the whole lip kit here. And we had people like Ryan Wallington that donated numerous interior parts. We had, I forget his name, who donated the TMI seat covers. And honestly, guys, the list goes on and on and on in terms of the donations and everything that was done that made this car build possible. So with that said, and keeping that in mind, you know, as the shipbox needs to move on and possibly find a new home, the question is, well, what's the best approach here? And it's not that I don't want the shipbox in my life, it's just that I need to be able to progress, need to be able to move on to the next project and let this one go so that more can come in the future. So I guess the question ultimately is here, well, who is interested and what's the next move for the old shipbox? So I guess you could sort of call this an official for sale video. You know, I can't necessarily just give the car away, but at the same time, you know what I mean? We need to be realistic here. You know, it is what it is, and it is not perfect by any way, shape, or form, but it has proven itself to be a pretty reliable car, right? Like, we got all brand new brakes and Brembo calipers, the ATS calipers in the front, the Cobra brakes in the rear, the booster is new, the motor was all regasketed, all the suspension. It actually has my infamous Project Tip prototype coilovers in this car, which is a 1 of 1. And the car rides and handles great, especially at this ride height, and you can raise it accordingly if need be. But, you know, I got money into the suspension, 19-inch ROH drift Rs in rubber. Got, right, all the Carter custom stuff. That's a 347 stroker. Guys, if you don't remember, when we stripped the motor down and we pulled that oil pan off and saw the clearanced cylinder walls for the crank, it was a little bit of a surprise. So not to say this motor could blow up any day, right? Like, who knows? We really don't know. All we did was regasket everything and slapped it all back together because we have no idea what the history of the car is, right? So a lot of money in parts, a lot of cool things. It would be a shame to strip this car down, but it almost is the reality. The car has like a lot of money in parts sitting on it at the end of the day. So I guess we need to keep that into, you know, the backs of our minds and into consideration. But I guess let me know your thoughts, guys. Like, what is this car worth? Should I throw it up and bring a trailer? Should I, you know what I mean, just take your offers off of YouTube? Who knows? Cash talk. Someone might want the old shipbox. How can we make this car live on and go on? Because it'd be really cool to see somebody else put their touches on it and maybe them road trip it across the country and do something crazy. Who knows? The ideas are truly endless with this car. But that is the video that I wanted to share with you guys. And then maybe you can help me spark some ideas on on the succession plan for the old Shipbox-Fox. So as my hands are still getting cold in these gloves, despite the sun coming out, I'm going to wrap this video up now. So it's short and sweet, a little bit of a recap and a little bit of way to seeing what 2025 can bring. And thank you guys again for your support. And I know, like, the Shipbox it will forever be huge milestone for the infamous project, and I think for the Foxbody community in general. Everybody seems to just love the Shipbox-Fox. So if you guys are interested, hit me up. If you guys have some ideas, put them in the comments below. We'll see you here next time on the infamous project.